Hello guys, welcome back to the video and today we're going to be making a reaction video on a video posted by the Poppy series on how the prototype was made in Poppy Playtime. So let's get started.
Throughout the entire story of Poppy Playtime, the story seems to revolve around both us and also the prototype. But the thing
Yeah, that's true. The story is revolving around us, the player, as well as the prototype, but I was Poppy and a few other main bosses of the chapters like chapter 1 Huggy, chapter 2 Mommy, chapter 3 Catnap, and chapter 4 Joey, but yeah, that's true.
thing is, we've been worrying about what the prototype is doing or what he's done in the past, but never really
Yeah, that's also true. We always ask what the prototype is trying to do or what he's done in the past.
asked a question about how he was made. With
Yeah, but it's not really that hard. It's like just yeah, he was made by an experiment.
Boxy Boo being the first successful experiment to come from the Bigger Bodies initiative, is
Could be that Foxy Boo was the first successful experimental bigger body initiative, and that the prototype was the first experimental bigger body initiative.
confusing as to how the prototype was made before him, but is also massive and most likely the smartest experiment that Playtime Co. has.
Yeah, totally the smartest. Like literally converted a time clock into a laser powerful enough to disable a security camera.
Ever made. So, how come they made the prototype before the Bigger Bodies initiative, and how did they do it? Well, the
It could be that they just created a robot and put Elliot's bones and body in there and called it a day.
first thing I want to look at is back in the Chapter 3 ARG, where we read of an incident that happened with Theodore Granbell and the prototype.
That incident where Theodore got electrocuted by the green hand getting overcharged.
Where the prototype convinced Theodore to look for some documents, leading to
Yeah,
one of the
that's the
counselors
one I
wondering
also
who
talking
this
about.
imaginary friend of Theodore's could be. But before Playtime realized, the prototype convinced Theodore to use a grab pack in order to try and escape the factory.
Yeah,
However, before escaping, Theodore was electrocuted due to the green hand attachment. And rather than escaping, the prototype decided to hand Theodore over to the staff in order to save his life.
at this point there are two theories that come up. One, that the prototype is actually good from the inside and wants to help people, and second, that he is so evil that he is literally that all of that was his plan.
But in part of the reports, it says that trails of tar were left behind, and whatever it was,
Maybe the trails of Thor were actually like the trails of the prototype because he's probably a giant robot monster. So wherever he walks, Thor is left behind.
it definitely wasn't human, which shows that the prototype seems to require tar to live.
No, it might not be that he requires Thor to live, but it requires Thor to operate some kind of part of his body.
Which is very, very interesting. The toys that we know came from the Bigger Bodies initiative. Although they were technically made out of toys, the inside of each of them are fully biological.
Yeah, the Titans are fully biological. Like they literally cut open a human and converted their organs into a toy, making them like a humanoid type of animal or creature or beast or whatever you call it.
Complete with organs and pretty much everything they need to live, making them giant animals in a sense. But with the prototype
Yeah,
being
pretty much.
partly mechanical and also the most intelligent experiment that Playtime Co. probably has ever made, then could he be an AI?
No, that is 100% not true. He's not an AI. He's not related to ChatGPT in any way.
Well, although this would sound cool, we have no evidence for the prototype being an AI, and it seems that the
Yeah, that's what
prototype
I'm
has
talking about.
feelings. So if he was an AI, he'd be the most advanced AI the world has ever seen, because even now in 2025, our AI can't feel
Yeah, ChatGPT. You really need that property to feel things.
anything. But here's the thing, the best clues are always hidden in plain sight.
Okay.
The prototype's name is quite literally the prototype, meaning that he
Yeah,
was meant to be the first of many. And Poppy even
that's
calls
the legit same thing that I said. Like maybe he was the first of the Bigger Bond Initiative, not the first successful, but the first of the Bigger Bond Initiative.
him the original back in chapter 3.
They didn't act
Yeah, she does. She does.
alone. They're disciples of the original, the prototype.
But if he's experiment 1006, then how in
Yeah, that's the thing. If he is experiment 1006 to 1006, means 1005 or 1005 experiments came before him.
the world is he the original when we know for a fact that Playtime Co. has been working on experiments for a very long time?
Yeah, maybe he is the original in a sense that he is the most intelligent and the most first like successful shift of a human into a body. So that's how it's the original. So yeah,
Even in Elliot Ludwig's office, we find an experiment in the 800s.
yeah, the rat experiment. Well, it was not
And
successful.
although a failure, it seems to be that the prototype wasn't the original, because in an unused voice line in chapter 2, Poppy
Oh, these unused voice lines, they are so
says that
cringy.
she's
Like,
the
just
cause for all of the
take a
other
look
toys
at it.
existing. So, if anything, Poppy is the original.
Terrible things have happened, and I am the cause. Being able to exist as a doll, it has killed so many.
Maybe killed people in a way that she was a doll and she was the first successful experiment of shifting a human into a toy body. So when her experiment was successful, Playtime Co. murdered and sort of like shifted many other humans into toy bodies. So she is the cause.
Many people. So much is unknown to you. Where do I even begin?
But if you remember when Sawyer was saying that they're no longer limited to the size of their test subjects, then it's possible that the prototype is the first of the bigger bodies
Yeah, that's exact same thing I mentioned earlier. That he may have been the first of Bigger Body Initiative and Boxy Boo the first successful of the Bigger Body Initiative.
initiative. And although Boxy Boob may have been the first success, the prototype was just a prototype for what they really wanted to create. And looking closely at him, we can see that he contains mostly mechanical parts.
Yeah, he mostly contains mechanical parts like his legs are giant mechanical crab and spider-like claws, and his arm is literally a mechanical claw which has two giant bones attached to it, which are most probably human.
But on his arm, he has two bones fixed to it, which means he's not 100% mechanical, and they might have needed some of his bones and organs
Yeah, that's the thing. In chapter 3, there is also an incident where a boy was found on the premises of Elliot Ledwith missing some key bones and some key organs. So it is possible that each of the toy needed some of their organs to stay alive in their body as a
in
toy.
order to keep him alive. And pairing this with the fact that he somehow needs tar in order to live, then the prototype could have
I don't disagree with that because it is possible that he does not need tar but leaves tar.
just been a showcase that they can take a human conscious and transfer it to another body. But the Bigger Bodies Initiative itself was meant to take that conscience and put it into another fully biological body that requires food in the
Yeah. We know that some of the toys, like Poppy and the prototype, do not need to eat, but the rest of them, the majority, they do. and they starve and they cannot survive without food.
Same way that humans do. So if the prototype needs tar and other things to live, then he would be more expensive to maintain, meaning that he wasn't really the bigger body's first success, but more like a pilot episode for a TV.
See, he was not the first success, but the thing is, as technology advances, things become more fuel and energy efficient. So it could just be that.
Show. But probably the most crazy theory out of all that the prototype has to offer is that he's not just anybody, but none other than Elliot
Yeah, I believe in that. I 100% believe that the prototype is Elliot Ludwig.
Ludwig. And I'll go over the theory pretty quickly, where if you remember back to the chapter 4 phone call when the prototype was talking to Poppy, he was talking to her really weirdly, almost as if he was a father to her. But the thing is, from the Entitled tape, we know that Elliot Ludwig was Poppy's father.
Yeah, from the untitled tape of chapter 4, we know that like the prototype is Poppy's father. Not considering the prototype, because I believe that prototype is the Elliot Ludwig, but we know that Elliot Ludwig used to run the place and Poppy's father ran the place, so probably Elliot is Poppy's father. And in a way, the prototype is Poppy's dad.
As Poppy says that her dad used to run Playtime Co.
I wish you were here, Dad. I could really use one of your talks right about now. You'd know what to say. When you were running this place, you always knew what to say. I miss you.
And combining that with the fact that Poppy's room had a second doorway that led right to Elliot Ludwig's
Yeah, see, there are many evidences to suggest my theory.
office, it's pretty obvious. So if Elliot Ludwig is the prototype and the prototype is Poppy's dad, then it's possible the prototype wasn't just made to be the first success of the Bigger Bodies initiative, but was created in order to keep Elliot Ludwig alive.
Yeah, that could also be true. That they didn't want him to quite be a success, but just to keep their boss alive.
But if Poppy was the cause, then why was Poppy created in the first place? Well, in the Elliot Ludwig documentary that we see in his office, it says that he lost a family member that was dear to him.
Yeah, we know that he lost a family member that was very dear to him, like a daughter or a son, most probably a daughter, which then they converted into Poppy.
In the 1960s, an unfortunate family death had pushed Ludwig down to his lowest. But with so much ambition, he rose back up and continued to fulfill his vision for the Playtime Co. toy factory.
And so, being an extremely rich man who also has access to many different things, he could have had someone help him to revive his dead daughter, Poppy.
That's the thing I was just said. Why are you copying me, Poppy? Just stop copying.
And so, when Elliot Ludwig died, they could have created the prototype to make him immortal.
Yeah, this could have happened that they wanted Elliot to be immortal, so actually create the prototype.
Just like Poppy. And that could also explain why he's so smart. Because if Elliot was the king of the toy industry, this dude was probably a billionaire. Meaning he
Of course, he's a billionaire. Come on, dude.
Was at least smarter than average and probably smarter than most people. But because
Yeah, he is probably smarter than most people.
the prototype was just a prototype, it's possible that in the transference of Elliot Ludwig's mind,
Yeah, we know that when a human was transferred into a toy body, they became violent. Very violent.
he could have changed from the man he was into a violent monster. But if you still don't believe that the prototype is Elliot Ludwig, then I dare you to explain why the prototype is willing to kill Catnap, who literally worshipped him, but yet he refuses to kill Poppy and instead grounds her by putting her in a case. And so if
Good one, Poppy, too. Good one. Very good one. The prototype grounds Poppy.
Poppy was created because she died and was close to Elliot. Then the prototype could have been created because Elliot himself died. And
Yeah, of course, we all have to die one day.
what isn't necessarily the strongest piece of evidence I have, but could tie into the story, is that in the chapter 3 hallucination, we hear radio tapes talking about what happened after Elliot Ludwig died. That there were
Yeah, the remains of a young boy.
remains of a young boy found on Elliot Ludwig's property.
Found in an upstairs bedroom in a large duffel bag, officers on scene report that the remains appear to have been disturbed. Organs, as well as key bones from the skeletal structure, were reported missing from the body.
And so, if he was already experimenting with putting humans into toys, or at least another body, then why would it be so far-fetched to believe that they would try to put Elliot Ludwig into a body, considering he was literally the CEO of the entire company?
It's not far-fetched to believe that. It is very, very.
And so,
If you think
putting
about it, it's very generic and very like almost there that we have to believe it.
all of this into perspective, it seems that Elliot Ludwig became a monster of his own creation. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video right here.
Okay guys, that's also the end of this video. If you like my video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments if you want to see more reaction videos like this one. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, goodbye.